Hey guys, welcome to the channel. As you see in the thumbnail, what if Issei and Madara were friends part 1. Before I start, please do support for more awesome content and subscribe my channel and like this video, and also go support the writer for writing that awesome fanfic. Let's start this video. It was a mild and slightly cloudy day over Kuo Academy. The academy was a prestigious one, which was also the only one in the small town of Kuo. Turned out the school had originally been an all-girls school that recently turned co-ed. That certainly explained why the girls of the school vastly outnumbered their male counterparts. And as such, the school had an abundant number of beautiful females, not surprised seeing it was quite big school for all girls before. And also certainly a lack of proper sense of decency. Several of the more capable teachers and students who could think properly often wondered why the faculty made the girls' school uniform so short, or why the cheerleaders of the school enjoyed flashing their underwear to anyone willing to look because of their poor excuse for a skirt. Of course, the percentage that thought about these things were so minuscule, it was considered unimportant. This was mostly because most of the male, and surprisingly some female, staff and students were more than overjoyed to get their lust and perverted urges satisfied from the free and enjoyable eye candy. Among the more revered eye candy were two beautiful girls who were known as the two great One-Isamas of Kuo Academy. The first is Ria's Gremory. Ria's is a young woman who appears to be in her late teens with light skin, blue-green eyes and a buxom figure. Her most distinctive feature is her long crimson-red hair that reaches down to her thighs, with a single hair strand sticking out from the top. Her hair also has loose bangs covering her forehead and side bangs framing her face. The second is Akeno Himejima. Akeno is a young woman with a buxom figure around the same age as Ria's, with very long black hair and violet eyes. And she apparently clearly have bigger boobs than the latter. Her hair is tied in a long ponytail, reaching all the way down to her legs, with two strands sticking out from the top and sloping backwards, with an orange ribbon keeping it in place. However, these two great One-Isama actually not human. You see, both of them is devil, with Akeno being hybrid of fallen angel too. Don't said it aloud to her, she will zap you with lightning. Currently we found those two sitting on top of roof, observing certain man that they plan to make into their target, well more like Ria's target. Said the target now currently laying on school park under the tree, sleeping. He known for quite lonely person after all. He's lone person isn't he? Akeno started the conversation. Indeed, Ria's agreed with nod, still staring at the boy that sleep under the tree. Haidu Issei, an orphan man. His parent died in accident 2 years ago before he entered Kuo Academy. His neighbors said he is perverted and easygoing boy, but after the accident he become darker. She said with slight pause. That wasn't surprise. Akeno hummed. Everyone will change if went through what he experienced. She murmured sourly as she give a slight pity look through her eyes. Well, I suppose you're right. Fortunately he not changed into very bad. He little cold but he's still polite and can be helpful to other people sometime. He also not popular in school, his face is average, his grade is average, all in all he just your average student like other people in this academy. Ria said to her queen. However, it was no doubt he could be in possession of a very strong sacred gear. I could sense it from him, the power inside him that seemed suppressed or sleeping, waiting to be awakened. She explained her observation. Plus, he also one student who not frond us. She added with giggle, and her companion also do the same for a moment. Oh really? Akeno asked as her eyebrow twitched upward slightly. That's certainly interesting. She paused and put thoughtful face. Could it be the reason why his parent died in accident? She asked. Maybe the data I able to gain about his parent was they died from robbery. There's some burglar come and rob their place when they on vacation to their family place in Okinawa. His father and mother killed, Haidu and apparently left dying due to gun shoot, but able to survive. Ria's answered as she recalled the data she read about Ice. More like he the only survivor from his whole family. That event was quite normal actually, but who know, people like us clearly can make accident like that with easy to normal human. She said as she knew well supernatural people can do something like that with easy. But to left him still alive, perhaps it may be normal. Akeno added her opinion, and Ria seems agree with that. Big chance it was. And after that Haidu-san live by working after school, he apparently working as cashier on fast food restaurant not far from here. Ria's continued to tell about him anyway, that's not why I observe him more keen now. There's been a recent increase in fallen angel activity around the area, and rumor has it that they're searching for someone with a powerful sacred gear. She said in slight serious tone. Oh, you think it might be Haidu-san who has this sacred gear? The black-haired woman asked to her king. You could say so. Apparently yesterday one fallen angel who named herself Amano Yuma come and ask him to date. Ria's face takes slight amused expression, make her queen wondered what is funny. It took moment of thinking before the realization fell to Akeno as amused smirk also appear on her face. Let me guess, he rejected. She guessed with amusement on her tone. Oh, not just that. Ria snorted in unlady manner. Haidu-san blatantly said, I don't want to go out with someone who act like shy and innocent girl, next time try to wield your mask more proper. She quoted all of them wearing blank face before broke into another giggle, and her queen gladly enjoy it. I want to see the face of the Uma Amano person after he said that. Akeno chuckled, but still that thing again, I must say it seems quite creepy. Akeno muttered with smile. Well, true, Haidu Issei is only like average person, but apparently he seems can tell you hiding something or not. He quite sharp person despite his average appearance in life. Does that mean he knew about us? According to Kaneko, who I command to stalk him. He seems not aware of our real status, he only know there's something about us, and that's all. There nothing strange about him. Ria shook her head while answered. Ara, I see. Akeno nod in understanding manner, and I take it the fallen angel won't like being denied like that. You bet she is. Ria's chuckled. I think sooner or later she will come back to kill him bluntly. She said. So what are we going to do about it, Butchu? Akeno asked as she noted what her club president was gazing at outside. We will do nothing, Akeno. Nothing? Akeno repeated, unsure of what she just hearing. I thought you had plans to add him to your peerage, and further plans from there? Yes, I do. Then please enlighten me, Butchu, on why we aren't going to interfere. She asked curiously, as her friend could be every bit of sly and cunning as a true devil when she wanted. It's simple, Akeno, Ria said as she turned to face the queen of her peerage. I have little to no doubt that Haidu-san will be killed by a fallen angel tonight, as unfortunate as that is for him, it makes things easier for me. Leaning on the railing, she glanced back at the boy who seems just awakened from his sleep with a small smirk on her face. As you know, reviving someone after they've died costs fewer pieces. And as such, reviving him after he is dead will not only cut down on piece price and requirement, but will also make him more loyal and willing. After all, we just saving his life even if he proved to be quite stubborn later, but sooner or later he will realize that he was saved and his life won't be as boring as he always went through. She smiled and turned back to face her queen, who was fascinated and impressed by the idea. Haha, very interesting plan, Butchu, I would have never thought of it. Akeno commented, and Ria's merely smiled at her queen and turned to leave. Alright, Akeno, there's still much to be learned as to the way we devils think and operate. For now, I need you to use your familiar to track Haidu-san. I know he's already been given one of the contracts, but we still need to know his location, just in case he doesn't make use of it to make a final wish. As you wish, Butchu. With that final statement, the two devils ended their conversation and went on their way back to the Occult Research Club. Once again, their little conversation reminding Akeno that though her Butchu was beautiful, kind, charming and innocent looking on the outside, she was still cunning, sly and ambitious on the inside. Not as much like Devil from Old Satan faction and arrogance like other Noble House Devil, but still cunning and sly in her own league. She was as all devils should be, a true child of the Noble House of Gremory, and was not the younger sister of the current Lucifer himself for nothing. None of them aware their brown hawk with pair of red eyes and 3 black tomo on it, pupil hearing and watching their conversation ever since the beginning. The hawk let out screech before it flap it wing and fly. Haidu Issei by any mean didn't like his current life. For him, go to school is boring as hell. There nothing amusing about school other than boring lecture, boring food, boring stuff and boring people. Not to mention he already went through this for a year. Oh yeah, that definitely big minus on his life. But still, he have mask and job to cover. You can't just bluntly declare to everyone that you holding one of 13th power that could kill gods like it was daily news. He then let out sigh before grumbling as he on his way to home. He's staring at the people who talking on park with blank look. Those people who laughing, those people who talking, those people who walking in city. Is pathetic. Cannon fodder. Mongrels. Peasant. Idiot. And the list still goes in his mind as he tilted his head away and resumed his way. Those people is nothing compared to him or other people. These human is weak unlike him who have his body upgraded. He's still human of course, but not those people not worthy to be called human, they are weakling like an ant. Nothing but cow and farm that ready to reap. You should know not everyone as lucky as you partner. Ice mood quite lightened when hear his partner voice. The being that with him ever since he born and he just knew after his parent died. Greg, glad to see you already awake. Ice replied with sarcasm. HMPH. I sleep because I don't want to see another your boring day. Drake snorted. When we going to act again anyway? The last time we fight is year ago during your school vacation. He grumbled and Ice rolled his eyes inwardly. Don't ask me, I also bored. You are better you could sleep and skip the boring thing, me? I trapped to do these stuff. Ice retorted. Smartest brat. When my new body finished I swear I going to burn your ass. Drake growled with annoyance. Shut up old man. You love me anyway. I snorted. I do not. Yes you do. And I love you too. Ice have to hold back laugh in public when hear Drake further protest, the old dragon certainly amusing when act sundier like this. He then finally notice he arrive in his house, he pull out the key and stick it to the knob. However his eyes narrowed when notice his house is unlocked. Sharpening his sense for a moment, he found himself grinning when he sensed familiar presence. "Be back," Drake said, his tone exhale relief and excitement finally. "But still he come this quick. I just report him yesterday, he normally going to come 1 week afterward." "Maybe they're urgent matter," Ice commented despite he also feel excited. "Doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it will be better than your boring routine anyway." Ice merely grunted before he opened the door, entering his house. He remove his shoes and socks, then walk in. He immediately goes to living room and he can't help but let out grin at the person who waiting for him. He is man around 20, perhaps he sit while staring at Ice with his black eyes that express light boredom. He has black long spiky hair that had a slight blue tint to it, he wear black shirt with a high collar left slightly open, and blue pants with bandages around his shins. Around his waist, he had a sash that held a sack. "Well, I never thought you will come when I just report you yesterday about fallen angel who make move to me," I said. I come here because apparently that fallen angel who contact you is one of Stray," the man grunted. "Stray? One of Kakabiel subordinate?" Ice asked, interest is on his voice. "Yes," the man replied, "hold your temper boy, sooner or later he will come, you will have your revenge." He added when see Ice expression turned to snarl. "He kill my family." Ice growled, "I trained for 2 years to kill him. I have good reason to." Suddenly wash of killing intent blast him and Ice's eyes widened in terror, sweat immediately poured down from his body and his throat become dry like numerous needles stab his neck. "Calm your temper, boy." The man warned in cold tone and Ice found himself gulped before nodded. Hi. He stuttered, "Sorry master, I forget my place." He stammered in fear as he feel his master killing intent. And soon his master calmed, gone the killing intent, and Ice let out breath of relief. "Good," he grunted, "now, why don't you show me your skills? Surely a year in this peaceful place not dulled your skills," he said. "Of course." Ice immediately beamed at his master, "Gone his fear before I have developed new technique. And I will beat you this time, Madara-sama," he declared with grin. Uchiha Madara, the founder of Konohagakure, Nidaime Rikiden Sennin, the second person who awakened Rinnegan, the man who caused Fourth Shinobi War and trapped the whole world on Genjutsu, smirked Ice. "Less talk and act more, Dragon Boy." Madara accepted the challenge with Uchiha famous smirk. "He going to die. He know it, he can tell he dying. No one can survive extraction of Biju save for Uzumaki perhaps who granted long vitality, even so after the extraction they will lose large amount of their years of life. An Uchiha like him won't survive from Biju extraction. As he dying, he can't help but recall the experience he went through. To think, him, Uchiha Madara got himself manipulated like a doll. All it false the infinite Tsukiyomi indeed trapping people inside Genjutsu where they will went to dream world, the world without violence, hatred, despair and evil in the world. A peaceful world where people live in their most happy dream. The perfect world. But what it didn't said is, infinite Tsukiyomi actually turned people into white Zetsu, to puppet, to army for Kagaya Otsutsuki with intent to rule over the world and do her bidding. And thus the peaceful world that make people drown in dream world, only another dream, a dream for another violence. How ironic. "Ah, this is it," he thought with dry chuckle inwardly at his situation. His dream for peace had died and soon he also going to follow his dream fate. "I guess my dream has died while yours lives won, proof enough that it was the better of the two," Madara remarked dryly as he stared at Hashirama. Hashirama shook his head, he offered his best friend warm smile, "Despite all the pain that you have caused I still would like to think of you as my friend." Madara raised his head and meet Hashirama face friend slowly smile formed on his face, a real smile that he never used ever since he leave from Konoha and battling the Senju again. "Friend eh? Hashirama you," Madara gives smile to Hashirama as friends, "How well if that's how we will. Always be friend." That left unsaid as Madara breath finally out before he able to finish, but even in that state, he still can feel Hashirama smile and hear it. And so Madara Uchiha, the strongest Uchiha other than Indra, Futurum no Rikiden, second 6 paths, and the reincarnation of Indra finally dead for the 3rd time ever since he lived. However unknown to him, there left a small, very small of Kagaya power still reside inside him. It can't separate it from Kagaya and wish to be alongside with it mother. So when Madara dying, it power use all it remained power to keep him live and flow it chakra to Madara whole soul and body once again. However the power is too weak, it did not possess enough strength to transfer itself back to Kagaya who sealed in moon of another dimension. So it stopped in middle of it way, in random universe, before able to reach it mother and dying afterward, but not Madara. Be back to live in his dying state and also teleported to another dimension. 5 years later, present, at Haidu residence, Ice Room. Nekomata and Devil Fallen Hybrid. Madara furrowed his eyebrow at the Ice who laying on bed weakly, their bruise on his face, and clearly he exhausted. But not surprised seeing they just finished their training. Well, true, Madara beat Ice to pulp, but the reincarnation of Indra can heal him back using medical ninjutsu, as long as not too fatal. Well, if it fatal, Madara can use Ito Tensei and bring Ice back. As long Ice soul went to Madara King of Hell, then it won't be problem. Yeah, Ice grunted while wincing in pain, his master clearly very strong. I found the Nekomata stalking me, however this one well can use ninjutsu, but she never use it, she kinda afraid I guess. So I can suppress my power without her recognize it, the seal you give also helping. He explained. Nekomata, those Yaokai kinda rare, wonder what race is she and hybrid of fallen angel devil this Ria's Gremory, surely have interesting peerage, Madara commented before he summoned pack of papers from sealed tattoo on his hand. And they're damper too sealed in area near school. I can sense it. Ice added to Madara who now flipping the papers on his hand. Vincent Gremory, Mira Gremory, Jane Gremory, Rose Gremory, Madara murmured while reading the name list before he stopped. Ria's Gremory. Found her daughter of Benelana Gremory, formerly known as Benelana Bale and Ricky Gremory. Being called Crimson-Haired Ruin Princess due to her talent and power of destruction, she also known as one of Rookie 4, the 4 most talented devil in their generation. And she also sister of the current strongest Lucifer, Surzich's Lucifer, one of Yondai Mao. He read it aloud and after that smirk plastered on his face. She sister of Mao? Ice exclaimed with surprise, never expect that one, I only thought she normal Gremory, he muttered. Then how about Sona Citri? Madara began to flip few page of his papers few times before find out the name Sona Citri, daughter of Lasara Citri and Richard Citri. Same like Ria's Gremory who is her best friend, apparently she also in Rookie 4, famous for her strategic mind. And she sister of Seraphol Leviathan, the current Leviathan, one of Yondai Mao. Madara told his student before he grinned, I must say Ice, sending you back to your hometown clearly good thing. I never thought my hometown will be nest of family of Mao. Ice grumbled under his breath. Well, I actually don't care about those two, but their peerage maybe there's some recruit we can get for us having spy in their family, also will be useful, Madara grunted as he dismissed the data back to his seal anyway, seeing those two is actually important figure in Devil's side. I want you to keep close eye to their peerage and write down everything you find out about them, then give it to me after school. He ordered. Make Ice blinked. Why you interested on them? I know they are sister of Mass, but why I should check on their servants? Ice asked with confused. Because I had no interest with pure-blooded devils. Servant or reincarnation meanwhile is something else, just do what I said boy. Madara said sternly and Ice merely mumbled under his breath, and for those fallen angel he noticed. Ice immediately perked up, I come here to recruit another person to join our side. And apparently she was contacted by fallen angel that stay in here. Another recruit and it's a woman? Ice asked in slight interested. Who is she? Madara in response merely throw some folder to Ice who catch it. The Sekiruyute open the folder and see the person that will join them. Asia Argento, an orphan, exiled from the church due to healing devil using her sacred gear. Ice read with his eyes, widened slightly in surprise. Sacred gear that could heal devil, twilight healing, this is the first time I hear it. It not Longinus, but that twilight healing considered as rare one too, at level quite high in healing aspect. This far all our healer mostly depend on Phoenix Tears, if we can have someone who can heal and fight at same time it could save our profit. Madara said with his Uchiha grunt. Sacred gear is one thing that Madara found quite interesting in this new world. He already studied them for quite time ever since he arrived in this new world. I see then what happened to those fallen angel after we take this girl? Ice asked with his eyebrow furrowed slightly. I have one of them as spy in Kakabial place. Madara grunted. The spy won't be seen when you strike those fallen angel. After we interrogate them and find anything useful you can do whatever you want with them. Madara replied simply. But still Ice frowned a bit. For you to come to recruit personally normally you just going to send someone. He commented. I plan to send Jean at first seeing they have history together from church. But she is on the mission with Mordred. Madara responded with shrug, and I'm bored too, so why don't go to find another interesting thing. I snorted at that. Madara always do whatever he want and never care for the consequences. Or he already think about the consequences first before act. Your mission, if their fallen angel approach you tomorrow, capture her and bring her to me. We will extract information about what she planned to do with our new recruit. Madara ordered to Ice who nodded. Suddenly a familiar gauntlet appeared on Ice's right arm and a jewel glowing in green light. Madara Drake called. When you done create my new body? He asked. Madara eyebrow furrowed at the heavenly dragon question. The sacred gear that contains someone's soul isn't like other one, it remind him of Jinchuriki. However the contained soul didn't possess body, so if the soul died, it will back to heaven due to its soul bonded to the system in there. However, separating the bonds for someone who possess Rinnegan won't be hard, so do creating new body for the soul. The user have King of Hell to store the soul and can use Banbutsu SMZM, the creation of all things, to create the new body. Depend on how strong the body or the creature is, it will take long time to create strong body. The concept almost similar like when Hagoromo separates Yubi into 9 Biju after all. Be patient, it will be done in few months again, Madara told the dragon with grunt of annoyance. The Welsh dragon already asked thing like this for long time, after Madara told him he can release him. In normal circumstance, Madara will enter and place Genjutsu permanently on Drake and make him do his bidding like slave. However, after went through 4th Shinobi War, let just say he have little respect to being like Drake, since he also can understand how it feel to got manipulated. My new body when I reborn, how about my power that's sealed by God of Bible? Drake asked. It will break of course, however, their chance it won't. The chance is 60-40 where it won't. Apparently God of Bible seems put some key for your locked power. Key? Ice asked. Yes, their key so Drake power can back to original. I don't know what it is, but if we found it then the bigger chance you will restore to full power. Madara said with grunt. Anyway, it already late and I want to sleep, don't forget to go to school tomorrow, Brad. He stated before he turned and leave. Ice only sighed before he closed his eyes and relaxed his body. Madara is always cold like that man practically not best person to be father figure at all, he more like strict teacher or mentor in Ice's opinion. As he laying in bed, he can't help but to remember that day, the day when he lose everything, the day when he crying and screaming so hard, the day when he feel the true fear, the day when he almost lost his mind. The day when he meet Madara for first time. Play high school D times Dios, think of us. 2 years ago in Okinawa. It was supposed to be normal day in Haidu residence at Okinawa. Ice and his family was just went to Okinawa to meet Ice's grandfather and grandmother, it was school vacation after all. For few days, the event and everything is went normal. Ice perving in his teenage, made speech about wonder of Oppai, talked dirty thing with his cousin who apparently also pervert, got smacked by female cousin. All in all, it was good vacation for Haidu Issei. Until that day come. It was 1 week before school vacation over. When they all doing their daily activity, in their room where everyone gathered, suddenly a glowing circle with strange symbol appear. From it, 10 people in black suit appear. And thus without words or warning, they start attacking. It was massacre. They throw magical spears and beam like they some kind of gods or supernatural being. Blood, scream, gory whimper, plea, fear. It was everywhere. His father. His mother. His cousin. His grandfather. His grandmother. His uncle. His aunt. Sister. Brother. Family. Died. None left spared. Everyone dead. Only he leave behind. How? He hide under the bed like when he was children at age of 4, that hide from his monster nightmare, rather than 14 years old teenager. That time he feel nothing but survive, he want to live, he want to see next sunrise, he don't want to die. It was then when the bed lifted he see something that horrifying his mind forever. Both his parent face in the hand of one of black suited man with 2 black wing like crow sprout out from his back. He don't know, but he's sure that time he heard a scream from both his parent face, scream that filled with nothing but shock, anger, pain, disbelief, sadness. It was the most horrifying scream he ever heard. But in middle of that nightmare scream his mind able to pieces the puzzle together through what he see. It wasn't his parent that screamed, their faces blank with blood slip out from their mouth and their eyes wide open. So whose scream is that? It was his own scream. His mind shattered when see the dead face of his parent. Everything went black after that for him. It was later when he wake again he find himself still alive. At first his instinct screamed to find his parent and to ensure it only nightmare. And sadly for him, it was not, it was real. Because his parent was laying in front of him and he saw it directly with his own eyes. He began to observe everything around him, he found nothing but dead body, blood and horrifying silence. And thus for the second time he let out the loudest of his cry and screamed to heaven. He kneeled to his mother and father, body hugging them while crying, trying his best to ensure this is only dream, only nightmare, and when he wake up he will find himself awake from his bed, greeted by his mother and father smiley face. But only coldness of their corpse that greet him. It was almost hour and he still hold his parent body, there no more tears, but his expression is still shock and enraged, there no voice from his open mouth, but his silent scream seems never end in his mind. Are you done? A steel and strong voice break the scream that haunt his mind, and he quickly snapped to the voice owner. It was man, he perhaps 2 or 3 years older than him, he wearing red samurai armor on top of his purple attire. He have long spiky black raven hair, along with sharp red eyes. Be not afraid boy, I'm not your enemy, he spoke to him, there he gestured and Ice's eyes followed his hand, then his eyes widened. Then people who wearing black suit and attacking them was staked to the wall, pinned by black rods. All of them dead. After you done mourning for your parent, come to meet me outside. But first, what your name, boy? I stare at the man who seems just killed the murderer of his family. His mind is blank, so do his eyes. But he found himself answering. Hi do Issei. His voice is hoarse and dry, not surprise, seeing he just screamed like madman before. The man stared at him for a moment, his red eyes piercing every muscle and movement of his body. Hi do Issei, that was strange name, the man commented rudely, come outside when you done what? My name? Ah, I see you can't speak due to your throat condition, you may call me Uchiha Madara. Music off. Ice let out yawn as he walked to the school again this morning, his expression is blank as always, it can't be helped seeing he not morning person. As he walk into school gate, he can't help but feel someone watching him from far. He tilted his head and see a crowd that formed not far from his location. Behind the crowd, he caught glimpse of crimson hair that waving in air. He then meet with Ria's Gremory gaze, brown meet blue-green orbs. There seems like slight pause in the whole world as they staring each other before it resumed back. Ice narrowed his eyes at the Ria's Gremory who walk away along with Himejima Keno follow her from behind. He feel another gaze to him and move his head. This time it come from above. From window of student council office. It come from Sona Citri, the president of student council in Kuo Academy. Same thing happened just like when he stared at Ria's Gremory, and it make Ice realize that both sisters of Mass was studying him. Didn't want to act suspicious, he raised his hand and waved slightly at Sona. Sona in response from window only blinked once, indicating she broke the eye contact before give him nod in greeting and turn her back from him. I have feeling something will happen today, Ice thought with narrowed eyes. After school. Ice was walking out from school gate. Despite every strange morning he went through until now, there still nothing happened. He also already observed Citri and Gremory group more close. According to what he get through observation, all student council and occult research club is actually club of devil. Which noted it quite many actually. But what caught his attention is the only male member in occult research club, Yudo Kiba, the prince of Kuo Academy. People often say, take one to know another one. For Ice, take one Avenger to know another Avenger. Behind that gentle face, warm and charming smile, calm personality and bright behavior, Ice able to catch a glimpse of hatred of Avenger inside his eyes. That was interesting. He need report this to Madara-sama, who know they can use this for their advantage. He then tilted his head and find it was time to go to work again, he inwardly sighed at that. He actually not need money. Madara is rich. He don't know how, but apparently his master able to create diamond out of nothing. A pure diamond. That was pretty cool, damn it. Ice paused on his way when he noticed there something approach him. He now can see clearly that there are no people around him and he alone. Heh, I told you something will happen today. Ice chuckled. I'm not surprised, but still. Only one? Pretty arrogance for mere crow. Drake commented with scoff. Is someone else tailing me now? No, you alone with this fallen angel. The familiar that following you already lost. Ice grunted in approval before he turned the direction where the aura of person who approach him. And Ice certainly not surprised when the one who come is Amano Yuma. Ice kun Yuma greeted, she seems nervous, make Ice narrowed his eyes inwardly, however this time unlike yesterday she really nervous. You come here to ask date again? Ice asked bluntly. No. Yuma denied before she flushed slightly and cleared her throat. Her face morphed a slight serious when the moon shining. Ice's eyes widened slightly before continued the darkness come and cover most of the world. In those darkness lay most horrifying moment of the world. Yuma speak. But when the moon sink. The sun will rise like a phoenix that reborn from it ash. Ice resumed. And the bright light vanished all the darkness Yuma continued after Ice. Along with the dark moment and the light shall give birth new memory. A new memory and new world where no longer people will be tormented. Akatsuki. Ice finished the code mechanically robot. For a moment their silence between them save for sounds of wind that grazed them. It was broken by Ice who speak. I never thought you are members of Akatsuki, he said. And I never thought I will meet the Sekiruyute. Yuma smirked before she bowed. It's an honor to meet one of 10 main members of Akatsuki. Hi to Issei, the Rikujai no Akatsuki, Dragon Prince of Rising Sun, she said in polite manner. Issei stared at the woman with impassive face. Akatsuki, it was the elite group that Madara created as his personal warrior, and there are 10 members of them. Those 10 warriors is known to be able to fight on par with Satan class entity, and some of them rumored stronger than Maya Monster. The identity of Akatsuki members is mystery save for each other, normal subordinate didn't give in their name, only title and order, if they got tortured for information they will found nothing. Show me the tattoo. Ice demanded and Yuma nodded before she opened her mouth, she then roll up her tongue and reveal some tattoo in there. It was Fuinjutsu similar like route that prevent them from talking about Akatsuki. The people who get this Fuinjutsu normally is loyal people to their own faction. However, let's just say trapped in Tsukiyomi for a very long time break their mind and make them loyal puppet to Akatsuki, few of them willing to join actually, but many not. Satisfied with the tattoo, Ice grunted and give nod to Yuma who snapped close her mouth now. Madara-sama just informed me about you this morning. I'm sorry for my behavior yesterday. She bowed and Ice merely grunted again. Don't mention it. Tell me your real name. It's Rainer, Haidu-sama. Rainer, I see. Well then, what you have? Do you want to talk with Madara or just come for apologizing? Ice asked in blank tone. Both Rainer flushed slightly, and I also sorry for plan to assassinated you. I didn't mean to act rash, but I have to so no one suspicious, she said nervously. It's fine. Ice replied simply, you want to meet Madara-sama? Then let's go, he offered before he turned away and walking. Hi. As the pair began to walk, Drake inside Ice can't help but sweat dropped. Well, this is certainly not expected, he remarked. I know, and here I was thinking maybe I going to have little fight. Ice grumbled, despite his apathetic toward normal human, Ice more tolerant to supernatural being, they at least not pathetic like them. Well, maybe they can be more pathetic sometime, but at least they hold little power. The normal human that walk every day in his eyes is not real human. People who aware of supernatural being, people who can see the lies in this world, those people who supposed to be real human. Rainer, Ice called the fallen angel. Yes, Haidu-sama. Rainer asked quickly, she actually quite nervous inwardly at his presence. If she still work under Azazel, then Ice's position could be said one of cadet like Kakabiel. Why you join Akatsuki? Ice asked bluntly, and he noticed Rainer grimaced. Short version, he added. Rainer, who hearing that seems fidget for a moment, she swallowed a lump on her throat. Short version, I'm saved by Jin-sama during fight with Stray Devil, my wounds quite fatal, so she spent time to heal me, and we become quite close afterward. Thus from her I found out Kakabiel actually planned to betray Azazel-sama, but I can't do anything. If I told Azazel, I sure Kakabiel will aware, so I decide to join Akatsuki with Jin, since Kakabiel also target of Akatsuki. She explained carefully, Jin had told her that there are few of Akatsuki members who quite immoral and dangerous, if you speak in wrong way even just a bit their chance your life will forfeit. I see, I simply remark while humming, so she not one of broken person, good then. As much I don't mind to see people like that, but I still find myself pity them. And it's true, Haidu Issei is born as good people. Despite what he went through, but he still can feel pity and have moral sense, same could be said to Madara, though the Uchiha ancestor case is more rare. How about you, Haidu-sama? Rainer asked back. For vengeance, your ex-boss apparently command his army to slaughter my whole family to kill me. Luckily Madara-sama saved me in time, Ice answered bluntly, and Rainer seems pale. Don't worry, I'm not holding grudge to your race. Just few of them, he said to ease the woman fear, and it's true. Ice by any mean not hold vengeance against all fallen angel, only few of them actually. They are warrior and he can't blame them for following order, and Kakabiel apparently is his biggest target. And Azazel. Oh yeah, when Ice meet him there will be little conversation between them, he assured that will happen, but Rainer doesn't need to know about this. I see, Rainer said nervously, she had see how one of main member Akatsuki enact and had no doubt their strength. Ice can kill her anytime he want, she's sure about that. We hear, Ice said as they arrive. Let's go, Madara-sama waiting. Oh okay. Rainer responded as she straightened her posture. This is the second time she meet Madara, and she can see with one glance that this man is no doubt stronger than Azazel. Part of her mind wished to go back to Azazel, but she knew she already entering too deep when she got the seal on her tongue, and she didn't dare to face against someone who's stronger than her ex-governor. Thanks for watching this video. Part 1 is over. If you really enjoy this video, like, subscribe, and comment down below, and turn on that bell notification. See you in the next video. Goodbye.